I got a call this past Friday from a man out of Alabama by the name of T. And he was like, well, Jesse, why don't you deal with that young black girl that was killed? And I believe it was in the Houston area. Why aren't you talking about that? And at the time, I had not heard about the story. And then but there was something about T that wanted me to deal with it. And one of the things is that he thought a white man killed the girl. So why aren't you dealing with the story? And blacks are running around thinking that it's a white man who did the stories, who so-called killed this girl, allegedly killed this 7-year-old black girl. And so you have the so-called entertainers, black entertainers and actors, so-called actors, they're affirmative action actors and singers, running around raising money and talking about all kids are our kids. All kids are not our kids, but because it's a white, they thought it was a white on black thing, they jumped on board and rallied and raised money and carried on, looking like idiots. It's so funny. You don't see these people coming together to deal with black on black crime or abortions in the black community. Everybody and their mama having abortions. 77% of Planned Parenthood abortion mills are located in the inner cities around the country. Poverty and lack of character and violence in black communities around the country. But these so-called black entertainers and other folks, they don't come together and rally about that. It's only when they think white people are involved. Most black people hate white people. Even those in the church hate white people. It's amazing. And these are the reasons that black people are suffering, and they will continue to suffer until they take responsibility for their own failures and turn back to God. Our battle is a spiritual battle. And so I looked at, my producer and I looked into this story about this black girl that was allegedly killed in the Houston area. Lo and behold, we have an update for you. It's not what the race-hustling, godless black people thought. They thought it was a white man, and all of a sudden there's outrage for it. When black people kill white people, you hear nothing about it in the black community. From the so-called black celebrities or the preachers or the hustlers or anybody. It's okay for white people to be killed by black people, but let one incident happen, and they think that it's white people to kill black folks. Oh, my God, there's an emergency going on. Black people are hypocrites. Not all, but most. Not all, but most. They're hypocrites, folks. We got to correct them because they're going to self-destruct if they're not corrected. Because when you are on the side of evil, there's nothing left but self-destruction. We talked to people in church on Sunday who are living together, had sex before marriage, and living together. It's a mess happening. And then once they have sex, they get emotional tied to one another. And it's hard to move away from that, knowing that it's wrong, because your emotions are involved. And I don't say to use you to make up excuses. But this is a great story, folks. And the black race hustlers, the black people who hate white folks thought that this was a white man, so they jumping all over this story. Even that woman down in Florida, a black actress, what's her name? And Gabrielle Union, either dated or married to a younger man 10 years younger than she is. You know that's sick. She was all over it. They were ready to pounce on the white people. They were ready to cry racism. Who's that, Joel? Oh, Dwayne Wade is her husband?
Yeah.
Are they really married or going to get married?
I'm not sure.
Nobody's sure?
Yeah.
They've been married, are you sure? Okay, I'm told that they are married.
Oh, okay. But
I can't see you, Joe.
He's the one that's 10 years younger than...
Why in the world would a man date or marry or be bothered with a woman that's older than him? You know that's your mama. But anyway, a black 7-year-old girl was killed in the Houston area, Texas. An initial police sketch based on her sister witness accounts showed a white man 30 or 40 years old. See that? That's the picture of the white man that the sister said it was, or at least a sketch of it. And the black people are like, hallelujah! We're going to jump on this and cry racism. All our children are ours. So I'm wondering out loud, why is it that the children that are being killed by black people, the black children that are being killed by black people every day, are not theirs? Those are not their children, only the ones that's killed by white people. Joe, you make the point that even if it was a white man, why is it racist? That's a good point. Because black people, most, not all, live off the word racist. That's how they intimidate white people. That's how they get affirmative action. Why do you think you see more and more black people on TV and in movies now? It's affirmative action. They're not earning their way. They're let in, not because they're good actors and actresses or good entertainers. They're there because of affirmative action. They intimidate white people. So they create this white man face, right? I don't know who he looked like, the white man. And the blacks were like happy about that. Lo and behold, it's not what they thought. This is a CNN report on a rally about the investigation.
The Houston community coming together today, mourning the killing of Jazmine Barnes and calling for justice. The 7-year-old was killed Sunday when a gunman opened fire on her family's car near a Walmart. A manhunt continues at this hour. Police have just released this composite sketch of the suspect, and they're pleading for help to find him. The sheriff is asking businesses to review their security cameras.
This community in East Harris County, galvanized by this tragedy. We saw hundreds, if not 1,000 people in this parking lot for the better part of 2 hours, here to show Jazmine Barnes' family their support and call for justice.
Amazing. They show up for Jazmine Barnes because they thought a white man did it. But had a black man did it, or they thought a black man did it, you wouldn't hear anything about it. Back in a moment, 888-77-JESSE. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Back in a moment. Amazing. So let me see the white man that they drew of this alleged killer down in. So the white man, as Doug someone just mentioned to me, Doug did, the white man looked like he black. They painted a white man that looked black, but he light skinned. Like his mama may be white and daddy black, or other way around. Lo and behold, we're finding out that this guy might not be white. Looked like it was done, this killing down in Houston was done by a black man. I wonder if they want their $100,000 reward back. Here's more on the story from CNN. People are not at ease. They're so scared. I was just so scared when the white man killed a black man, but I'm not scared when the black man killed a black man or the black man killed a white man. Here's more on the story.
Now, people here telling me they are nervous, they are on edge. And while that's the case, they recognize that it was important to be here today to support that family because it could have just as easily been them driving that car. It could have been their daughter, their niece, their next door neighbor in the back seat. That feeder road that leads to this Walmart where Jazmine was killed, a familiar path for so many people in this community.
Amazing. So all of a sudden, the black people are scared. They're on edge. They're just so uneasy. A white man killed a black girl. While, black people killing black people, black girls and everybody else every day. Why are the black people on edge about that? Why are they so nervous and uneasy when one white man they thought had done it? I want you to see hypocrisy in the black people and the anger and the hatred and the blaming the white folks. And white people, don't sit quietly on this. Point this out to your black friends and others. I'm telling you, black people hate white people. You hear it all the time on this show. I ask, do you love white people? Do you love white people? I love everybody. No. Do you love white people? I love everybody. No, they don't. If you don't love one person, you love no one. You're of your father, the devil. And most black people are of their father, the devil. The girl's family appreciates the support.
Jazmine's family expressing their appreciation for so many people turning out, but as you'll hear from her grandmother, that emotion still very raw.
Don't let it be go like this without knowing I could die today or tomorrow, and I'll never know. Please help me. Please.
Oh, Lord. Drama.
Help me get them.
Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez also among those who addressed this large crowd. He continues his commitment that he won't rest until justice is found for Jazmine. But here we are, Anna, 6 days after that little girl was killed. There are no suspects.
Ain't a reporter trying to sound all humble and sad. This is so ridiculous. When black people cry racism, it's all a lie. First of all, there's no such thing as racism. Tips were floating in after this sketch.
They say tips have been flooding in since they released that composite sketch on Thursday, and yet authorities are not ready to discuss any of those specific tips with us or any of those leads that they might produce. Federal, state, local authorities working together, and Houston area Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, she is calling on the Department of Justice to create a federal task force to give all of the resources of our government, despite the shutdown, to support this investigation with a killer on the loose.
This is why these people love these type of things. They want to cry more laws, more government involvement, more money. It's about the money. They want the white man's money without earning it. And so that's why they're pretending to be so outraged about it. And that godless, nasty woman, Sheila Jackson Lee, down in Houston area there, she is a dirty, nasty, evil woman. And she's right on this. They're right on it, jumping in. Oh, we want government, more government support, more money coming in. And that money end up in the pockets of the black politicians and the preachers. And then grandmother, oh, please help me, I don't want to die. Just phony. So-called celebrities and Black Lives Matter activists got involved. And Black Lives Matter is the worst organization on this side of heaven. It's an evil, radical organization that was founded by a bunch of black lesbians and black homosexuals and nasty, evil white social justice warriors. They're worse than the KKK. I was told that they were involved in this as well, and they were thinking it was racially motivated. And so they raised these people, all these people, so-called black celebrities, affirmative action celebrities, they raised $100,000 reward. I wonder now that they believe it might be a black man who did it, do they want their money back? Like, oh, child, it's a black man. That happened every day. I want my money back. And I bet that grandmother like, no, don't y'all take my money. But the man who was arrested and charged with capital murder was a 20-year-old black man. Isn't that amazing? Look, there's a black man. They suspect I'm doing this. He don't look white to me. Even with the African braids on, I guess, or about to, whatever you call that stuff. So it looked like it was a black man that did it and not a white man. There must be some disappointed black people running around now like, oh, shoot. We thought we had the white man. We could cry racism and get more money, get more affirmative action.